This channel is supported by Truefire. Truefire is an online library of
You can get the Truefire All Access Pass for as cheap as they ever do it, the $99 thing. So just jump and do that if you're looking for the best price that you can get Truefire All Access for. Now, I'm not someone who's ever particularly claimed to know anything about anything, but I had a kind of chat on live stream the other day on YouTube. I do live streams on like Tuesday nights mostly, and I was saying I'm not sure that if you were to give me like a mix of something, whether I'd be able to tell like a big difference between a Telecaster and a Stratocaster. And in some ways, you know, that might sound like a really silly thing to say, and then you know, I'm putting myself, I guess, at the risk of sounding like I've got really tin ears, which I probably do have an amount of tin in my ears. I'm a guitar player, not someone who's got like a good ear for some of this stuff. So I kind of just wanted to show in this video, I was going to do something silly, which was like swap the audio files around and then see if anyone noticed, but I thought, let's just listen and pick up what the differences are. Now, most of the differences between these guitars tend to be physical, right? So they're both outer body maple necks, and then this has got a rosewood board. I don't think many people would necessarily think that the fingerboard has a huge impact on tone. I think there is some, but whether much of that translates through the pickups, who knows? These are different pickups anyway. So this is a Nacho, these are Lola Dirty Blondes, which are about 5.5K-ish and maybe 6K in the bridge. I think this is like 7K in the bridge and slightly lighter in the neck. The pickup heights are all slightly different, but they're all kind of quite low. But do you think you could tell these guitars apart? Now, please feel free to jump into the comments and let people know what you're listening for when you think about a Telecaster and what it is that makes it identifiable to you. But I'm only using in this video the neck pickups and the bridge pickups because those are the most directly comparable tones. So what I noticed was that actually the Telecaster I feel like I'm able to get, you know, quieter notes out of it as well as louder. It feels like some of the energy from the notes kind of goes into the strings. Well, that's actually got some of it as well. Because I thought that was springs making that noise, but there is like a note underneath which is, I guess, kind of literally a bit of a spring reverb. You get like a bit of reverb to it as well. Although it does seem like there's something there as well. What I had noticed is like the neck in this case of the Telecaster, and I think some of these differences are down to design as well, like a Telecaster bridge pickup with a metal covering, the bridge pickup with a metal base plate. These are things that interfere with the magnetic field a bit, but I just do feel a bit more dynamic responsiveness with the unless you're playing like something super idiomatic, I just think that what actually ends up translating is more or less that the the Strat sounds a little bit weaker, like. In practice, I think what ends up kind of happening is that the sweet spot is the bridge, where it doesn't have that ice picky thing, where it's like, this is like a more balanced kind of bridge pickup where there's a bit of high-end roll-off, maybe due to the base plate. Whereas if you're on the Tele Neck pickup, it's like a little bit dull sometimes. And for me, some of my favourite Tele sounds are when it's like a Tele pickup that's been wound a little bit more like a Strat. And so it kind of depends on where you're going to be living. Like if you're living on the neck pickup, then I feel like a Strat kind of has some advantages. If you're living on the bridge pickup, then the Tele has some advantages. And maybe somewhere in between, there are these people out there that are kind of doing like a hybrid thing. I used to have a Nashville Tele that was kind of an interesting idea, at least. I think the twisted Tele neck pickup was based on this idea of being closer to a Strat pickup from Fender. The Ron Ellis mid-tool is that same sort of thing. So I think people are well aware of this, that like a Strat does quite a nice, and I had a Tele as well with a Mike Landau neck pickup in it, which was quite a nice thing. So I don't know, for me what I'd be listening for that Tele sound is like a bridge pickup that is a bit warmer. Can you achieve that by sort of rolling the tone off on a Strat bridge pickup to some extent? Yes, but a lot of it is about like look and feel, to me at least, with my tin ears. So I'd love to know your thoughts if you can pick these things out very easily. I've got like a stereotype in my mind of what a Tele sounds like, but it's actually more a part that I'm hearing in my head than an actual guitar sound, I think. So if I'm thinking of like a quintessential Strat tone, it's like either Eric Johnson or Jimi Hendrix or something like that, or Stevie Ray Vaughan. And if I'm thinking of a Tele tone, it's maybe more of like a country type thing. So that's kind of how it plays in my head, at least. So if you play the same part on these two guitars, to me they actually kind of have quite a lot of overlap. Let me know if that's crazy in the comments. Cheers.